Power to the pedals. Why torque matters. Cycling is about efficiency, transforming human energy into motion. At the heart of this transformation lies the relationship between torque and power, two key players in propelling your bike forward. Understanding this relationship can unlock your cycling potential, allowing you to climb steeper hills, accelerate faster, and conquer challenging terrains. Think of torque as the rotational force you apply to the pedals. It's the oomph that turns those cranks, like a wrench tightening a bolt. Power, on the other hand, represents the rate at which you produce this rotational force. It's the combination of torque and cadence, the speed at which you pedal. Crank length. The distance between the center of the bottom bracket to the center of the pedal axle acts as a lever arm, directly influencing the torque you generate. A longer crank arm means you apply force over a greater distance, resulting in higher torque for a given effort. Conversely, a shorter crank arm requires less effort to turn but produces less torque. Finding the optimal crank length for your body and riding style is crucial. It's about finding the sweet spot where you can efficiently generate power without compromising cadence or comfort. This guide delves into the intricacies of torque, power, and crank length, empowering you to make informed decisions about your bike setup. Torque and power, a dynamic duo. Imagine yourself climbing a steep hill. You need a good amount of torque to overcome the resistance and keep those pedals turning. This is where longer cranks can be advantageous. They provide greater leverage, allowing you to apply more force with each pedal stroke. On flat terrain, where higher cadence and sustained power output reign supreme, shorter cranks might be more favorable. They facilitate a faster pedaling rhythm, allowing you to maintain a consistent speed without sacrificing efficiency. The relationship between torque and power is dynamic and interconnected. As you increase crank length, you might find it harder to maintain a high cadence, potentially limiting your overall power output. Ultimately, the key is to find the crank length that allows you to generate the most power for your riding style and terrain. This might involve some experimentation, considering factors like your height, leg length, and cycling experience. The long and short of crank length. Crank length affects your riding position and how your muscles engage throughout the pedal stroke. Additionally, shorter cranks tend to offer slightly more clearance when pedaling through corners or navigating technical terrain. The choice between longer and shorter cranks depends on a variety of factors, including your riding style, terrain, and personal preferences. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and what works best for one cyclist might not be ideal for another. Section 4. Finding your perfect crank length. Choosing the right crank length is a personal endeavor. While there are general guidelines based on height, leg length, and riding style, the best approach involves a combination of research, experimentation, and professional advice. As a starting point, you can refer to crank length charts that suggest sizes based on your inseam measurement. However, these charts should be treated as guidelines, not absolutes. If you're new to cycling or unsure about what crank length to choose, it's always a good idea to consult with a professional bike fitter. They can assess your biomechanics, riding style, and goals to recommend a crank length that optimizes your comfort, efficiency, and performance. Section 5. Biomechanics and bike fit. The perfect match. Biomechanics plays a crucial role in determining the ideal crank length for your body. A professional bike fit takes into account your unique anatomy, flexibility, and range of motion to optimize your position on the bike. During a bike fit, the fitter will assess your posture, flexibility, and pedaling mechanics. They may use tools like video analysis and motion capture to identify any imbalances or inefficiencies in your pedal stroke. Based on their assessment, they can recommend adjustments to your saddle height, handlebar position, and of course, crank length. A proper bike fit can make a world of difference in your comfort, efficiency, and power output. It can also help prevent injuries by ensuring that your joints are properly aligned and your muscles are working in harmony. Section 6. Experiment and conquer. The final word. Finding the perfect crank length is a journey, not a destination. Don't be afraid to experiment with different sizes to see what feels best for your body and riding style. Start with the manufacturer's recommended size for your bike frame, and consider making incremental adjustments from there. Pay attention to how different crank lengths affect your comfort, power output, and cadence. Keep a journal of your rides, noting any changes in performance or perceived exertion. With a little experimentation, you'll be well on your way to finding the crank length that unlocks your full cycling potential. Remember, cycling is a dynamic sport, and your optimal setup might evolve over time as your fitness, flexibility, and riding goals change. Embrace the journey, listen to your body, and enjoy the ride.